September 7th, 2022. I've got a pint of Ben & Jerry's Scotchy Scotch Scotch from 2013, 2014 maybe. It's been frozen in my freezer. Been saving it for a special occasion. And apparently having 3 kids, starting my own business, we're not special enough. Truth is, I was too busy at the time to eat them when those things happened, but sold the first house I owned. So figured I've got time, let's see what's going on. These have been kept in the freezer this entire time in a plastic bag. I have 2 other ones, total 3. I just pulled off the plastic seal. I don't know if I'm just smelling the package or something else. I'm sort of terrified to do this, but I've done a little bit of reading and it seems like it's probably fine since it's been frozen. Let's see what's going on inside here. A little bit of separation, a little bit of freezer burn. This one's been laying on its side, so I think that's what is happening here. Nothing smells too bad. It's a lot of ice. So we can get a little chunk of this off. Doesn't taste bad. Definitely tastes like Scotchy Scotch Scotch, but it's hard to tell if there's something wrong with it. If it's just a little bit of freezer burn on the outside here, or maybe because it's just aged, like separating or whatever happens over aging. It's a little different. I'm gonna dig a little deeper. That tastes pretty good. That was good. Oh man. That was a lot of ice on that one. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of ice on the outside. But as I'm more inside, it looks, as you get inside, it looks pretty good. I think this dark thing at the bottom is it was laying on its side in the freezer. And I'm sure over time it's, kind of done that. Like, for having waited 9 years to eat this, I was kind of worried that it would just be inedible or worse, like, apparent when you open it that you had to throw it away. This is actually really chewy. It almost feels like maybe that's some of the, I don't know, like the butterscotch swirl or something that, you can even see like the way it looks like there was, probably stuff up here that dropped down to there. Definitely was sitting on its side like that. This one's a lot of ice. Yeah, it's mostly ice. It's good. As I'm getting deeper into this, it's good. mixing this frozen bit, that dark colored frozen bit down here. It's very much like just ice. Almost has like a snow cone type of thing going on. I think that tastes like just frozen water with flavor in it. So whatever was that definitely, yeah, was the more less viscous, I should say. It's still pretty creamy. It's except for these parts with the ice, which is only on the outside. The inside tastes really, really good. I mean, for 9-year-old ice cream, I'm giving this a 10. I don't think you could have asked for anything more out of this. Amazing. Amazing. There's almost no smell to this thing. I think what I smelled when at the beginning was the, like, yeah, it's the outer packaging has a smell. Like, it doesn't smell like food or anything biological. Just smells kind of like off plasticky. Yeah, the inside, no smell whatsoever. This is great. This is great. How about this frozen part? It should be sent to Ben and Jerry's because they need to bring this back, and if people are resorting to saving ice cream for 9 years, that's on them. What I love is I am thoroughly enjoying this, and I've only gotten a little bit into this pint. This is funny. This is back when they didn't give you the calories for the entire container. They do that now. So 280 half a cup, or there's 4 servings, so 100 minus 80, 1120 calories. Okay, I can handle that. So now I wonder, it's obviously done a little bit of the separation. The taste is still really intact. It might be a little less intense than it used to be. This was a really strong, like, sweet flavor. It might be a little less. But if it's saved for 9 years, I mean, at that point, what's 9, 19, 29? Like, is it really going to make a difference? It doesn't seem like. It feels like anything that would have happened right away, or over like the first 2, 3, 4 years. It's a shame it's separated though with this thing on the side. This was probably all interspersed in the middle and probably, improved the flavor. the texture. The texture's not bad, but it probably was just a little bit better when that was, you know, properly properly mixed. That'd be a shame if I lost the whole thing. I wonder if the other ones, they've been standing upright. I had like two, and the other one was, this one was on its side. I wonder if the other ones have this ice at the bottom. I would assume so. I wonder if I flip them over, if, you know, in 4 years, if it'll kind of remix itself, or maybe it does all the movement in the first however long, 6 months or something. What I am worried about, though, maybe I shouldn't be, is now that this is opened, this one, I don't want to put a lid on it and save it for tomorrow or the next day. I mean, you probably could, but it feels like, I don't know, that might be more risky for some reason. Oh. It's starting to get a little melted in the middle, just a tiny, tiny bit. Like the ice part's definitely starting to melt, break off easier, but it's still delicious. This is great. It's my favorite ice cream. Big gob of butterscotch right there, just perfect. Perfect. Actually kind of starting to enjoy this snow cone part of it. I wonder what the delay is on ingesting a whole bunch of bacteria, you know, from ingestion to sickness. Probably not that long. A couple hours maybe. Well, well, I'm gonna continue eating this, but the lesson of the day is, if you properly freeze your Ben & Jerry's ice cream, it'll keep. You gotta, I think for the first couple of years I had it just loose in the freezer. And then at some point I said, oh, these things are old, and apparently I'm trying to keep them. Let's see what we can do. And I remember reading online, keep them in the back of the freezer where it's coldest. So I also figured I'd try to reduce the amount of airflow going over them. And so I put them in a Ziploc. There was a big Ziploc that held just about 3 of them. Put in the Ziploc, put in the back of the freezer, and that was it. They just lived there. We had a power outage in like 2014, 2015 maybe? It was 2014. And, geez, if I had these that long, so maybe these are older than that? 2013? I don't know. And we had a power outage, and I had to buy a generator. But before I was able to do that, I ended up getting a bunch of bags of ice in the cooler and putting, you know, some of the stuff that wasn't going to keep in the fridge in the cooler to keep it frozen. And these were the most important thing that went in there. That was the only time they were ever not in an active freezer, but they stayed frozen. All right, well, that's that. Hopefully I live.